Your subject outlines are a good place to go to find information about which textbooks to buy. You will usually be given one of these for each subject in the first lecture. But if you are missing one or need one earlier, then you should contact the subject coordinator.
Most people do not realize that some banks literally make money by giving loans without having money on deposit. The system is called fractional reserve banking and is used in most economies. It sounds as though it is safe because it says that banks have to keep a fraction of their deposits with the reserve bank.
In the past, wars have led to inflation and higher commodity prices. Fighting disrupts trade and prevents raw materials from being shipped from one country to another. In Second World War Britain, a banana was the highest of luxury.
Globalization refers to a set of changes rather than a single change. Many of these changes are social, cultural, and political rather than purely economic. And one of the main drivers, in addition to the global marketplace, is the communication revolution.
The most obvious change is that 46% of college undergraduates are now women. When I went there, it was only the third year that women had been admitted, and then seemingly grudgingly, about 70% of students were male, and if there was a woman tutor, she must have been a male impersonator.
It's not easy to make a wind turbine blade. Conventional blades require a lot of labor. They are a sandwich composed of fiberglass sheets of balsa wood and a chemical called an epoxy thermoset resin. A heat oven is required to give blades the proper shape, strength, smoothness, and flexibility to catch the wind and turn the turbine.
The most significant difference between an eating disorder and disordered eating is whether or not a person's symptoms and experiences align with the criteria defined by the American Psychiatric Association. The term disordered eating is a descriptive phrase, not a diagnosis.
Titanic swarms of desert locusts, resembling dark storm clouds, are descending Ravensway on the Horn of Africa. They're roving through croplands and flattening farms in a devastating salvo. Experts are calling an unprecedented threat to food security. On the ground, subsistence planters can do nothing but watch, staring up with horror, and their fields in dismay.
A stationary bike workout is a low-impact workout that uses smooth movements to strengthen bones and joints without putting much pressure on them. Because your feet don't lift off the pedals with a stationary bike, this option is kinder to your joints, but it still provides a challenging and effective workout.
The popular trend of revolving restaurants and bars began sometime in the early 60s after the successful launch of such towering creations as the Space Needle. But as the novelty wore off, the mechanical upkeep and maintenance of such ventures proved to be too costly for some entrepreneurs over time, and many once famous icons like Encounter Restaurant have since closed.
Since the beginning, the Eiffel Tower drew attention and served as the theater for numerous events in the life of Paris and France. The tower can be seen from many and various points around Paris and its suburbs. It is photographed, filmed, and replicated in all kinds of circumstances. It naturally slipped into the role of symbolizing France in the collective imagination and in literature and poetry.
The construction of dams is labor-intensive. Before construction begins, water is diverted or prevented from moving through the construction site. After water is diverted, the foundation area is excavated, and sediments that will act as the foundation are repaired. This is done to ensure the sediments won't shift or fail as a result of the load of the dam and reservoir.
Many floods take hours to come into full effect, so they provide people with time to evacuate safely while salvaging as many of their valuable possessions as they can. Sometimes, however, floods generate in minutes and give little warning to their formation. These are known as flash floods and can be extremely dangerous. Flash floods are the top one weather-related cause of death in the United States.
The prime responsibility for nuclear safety must rest with the person or organization responsible for these activities. Regulating safety is a national responsibility. However, radiation risks may transcend national borders, and international cooperation serves to promote and enhance safety globally by exchanging experience and by improving capabilities to mitigate any harmful consequences.
Particle accelerators produce and accelerate beams of charged particles, such as electrons, protons, and ions, of atomic and subatomic size. They are used not only in fundamental research for an improved understanding of matter, but also in plethora of socioeconomic applications related to environmental monitoring, food quality, energy, and aerospace technologies.
Programs, such as delicate wash or color wash, are one of the features of washing machines, particularly fully automatic washing machines, which gives you the choice when it comes to how you want to wash your clothes. If you're washing with a certain fabric, then programs help you find the optimal washing conditions for your laundry needs, from selecting the right wash temperature to setting up your washing timing.
Giving pocket money to children as young as 4 or 5 years helps them start learning about the value of money and money management. When children get pocket money, they have to make choices about spending or saving. Pocket money can also help children learn about consequences, including the consequences of losing money or spending it unwisely. Letting your children make a few mistakes is part of the learning process.
Astronomers announced that they have finally assembled an image of the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. This image shows a bright ring surrounding the darkness, the telltale sign, the shadow of the black hole. It reveals the turbulent, twisting region immediately surrounding the black hole in new detail.
The benefits of home fencing are not only as a barrier between the area of the house and the surrounding environment. In simple words, a fence is a formation or structure that is above the ground and is generally vertical, with the intention of limiting an area or areas, protecting everything inside the fence from threatening danger from outside the fence. Frogs have excellent night vision and are very sensitive to movement. The bulging eyes of most frogs allow them to see in front, to the sides, and partially behind them. When a frog swallows food, it pulls its eyes down into the roof of its mouth to help push the food down its throat.
A common way of permitting others to use an intellectual property right is to give express permission for it. This can be done in return for financial remuneration. In such cases, the holder of an intellectual property right is often referred to as granting a license to use what the holder otherwise has exclusive rights to, subject to certain conditions.
Anyone who creates something artistic, such as fashion photos on the shoe, automatically has copyright to them. It consists of a financial right that is possible to license or sell, and a non-profit right that cannot be agreed away. The latter means that you always have the right to be mentioned in connection with your work being used.
Fast growth in both world energy demand and carbon dioxide emissions due to fossil fuels has resulted in search for alternative sources which are not only renewable but also environment friendly. One of these alternative sources is ecofuels, which are solid, liquid, or gaseous fuels primarily produced from biomass. The solid ecofuels include wood, animal dung, municipal waste, and energy crops.
A hernia is a weakness or opening in the abdominal wall, which often results in soft tissue such as fat protruding through the abdominal muscles and occupying space under the skin. The mechanism of the hernia is similar to what happens with a bulge in a damaged tire, where the inner tube, normally contained by the hard rubber of the tire, extends through a thin or weakened place. We want a recreation in adulthood of what it felt like to be administered to and indulged. In a secret part of our minds, we picture someone who will understand our needs, bring us what we want, to be immensely patient and sympathetic to us, act selflessly.
International Women's Day is marked on March 8 every year. Countries and the world celebrate it to give credit to the economic, political and social achievements of women and to show respect to their contributions in the development of their countries. It's only in the beginning of the 20th century that the day was officially and internationally acknowledged due to the rapid industrialization and the social protest that it accompanied. We've spent a lot of money over the last 70 years on flood control, and it's protected millions of people and has saved us billions of dollars. We've built dams to hold back the waters. We've built levees to keep the water off the people, and we've raised the ones that were originally started in 1718.